Against all odds, we achieved this huge victory for Likud. We won the national camp led by the Likud has won. We achieved the huge victory for our people.
Yes, 30 seats, ladies and gentlemen, to 24 for the Zionist Union. What an upset. Joining us now to talk about it is the Malzberg panel, and it is All-Star Day. Larry Elder, radio host of The Larry Elder Show and author of Dear Father, Dear Son, 2 Lives, 8 Hours, and the host of the syndicated Roger Hedgecock radio show, Roger Hedgecock. And gentlemen, let me start with you, Larry. Wow, what an unexpected turn of events.
Yeah, so much for the letter that the Republicans sent that was supposed to have sabotaged the election negatively for Bibi. So much for Bibi's speech that Obama criticized. So much for all the operatives that Obama sent to try to influence the election. You know what stumped me? I never could figure out why Obama thought his influence would be positive. I saw a recent poll that had his negative numbers in Israel at 59%, and 75% of Israelis felt that he was bad on Iran. So why Obama felt his influence would be positive is beyond me.
Yeah, you know, Roger, I guess it was Paul Begala's brainchild to have the Herzog, the opposition candidate, to say, I trust Obama to do a good deal for Israel with Iran. I mean, that's suicide.
It is, and of course their slogan wasn't much better. Change and hope sounded a little familiar to me when Zionist Union went out there with that. They had those operatives working out of Tel Aviv, funded by the Obama campaign and possibly with taxpayer money. We're still chasing that one, to try to overthrow Netanyahu at the same time that the president said he wouldn't see Bibi in Washington when he was there for the speech because he didn't want to interfere with the elections. Well, he was interfering with the elections, and now it's blown back on him about as hard as the time when they tried to turn Texas into abortion Barbie governor. Remember that? And they lost that one too. So they've now lost Israel, and they're on a roll.
And Steve, it wasn't entirely
really
clear
are.
to me. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Steve.
No, go ahead. You go ahead.
I was going to say it wasn't entirely clear to me either if Herzog, who would have succeeded Bibi, would have been any better in terms of Iran. Israel's aware this is a bad deal, and that's one of the reasons that Bibi won. But even if Herzog had won, he was no more optimistic about the deal than was Bibi.
That's right.
Yeah, all right. I want you guys to hear, speaking about the White House, and I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall when Obama found out the results. But listen to this morning on CNN. This is a White House aide, David Simas, talking about not congratulating Bibi, but here's what he said.
We want to congratulate the Israeli people for the democratic process for the election that they just engaged in with all the parties that engaged in that election. As you know now, the hard work of coalition building begins. Sometimes that takes a couple of weeks, and we're going to give space to the formation of that coalition government, and we're not going to weigh in one way or another, except to say that the United States and Israel have a historic and close relationship, and that will continue going forward.
Roger, what are the odds that if it had gone the other way, they would have been showing pictures of the president on the phone congratulating Netanyahu's opponent?
Absolutely the case. And I'll tell you, Steve, when Obama congratulated Erdogan on his election victory in Turkey in 2014, he congratulated al-Sisi in Egypt. He called him, and Morsi before him. He called the Iranian president when he was elected, Rouhani, in 2013, and he called Putin to congratulate him for his ascendancy in a very terrible election. So he's congratulated all of these people, but he wouldn't call our strongest ally, a free market capitalist nation of 6 million people upholding Western civilization in a desert of civilization. He wouldn't call him. Oh no.
Larry, because he hates him.
And Steve, wasn't that kind of condescending to congratulate the Israelis on their democratic election? Israel's been a democracy since 1948. Surprise, surprise. They have democratically free elections all the time.
Well, it fits in very well with Obama's statement in his Egypt speech that Israel has a right to be there because of the Holocaust, ignoring, of course, history and religious doctrine and all that kind of stuff. We're coming back, guys. Part 2 of the panel's on deck, folks. Don't go away. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back with the Malzberg panel, and it's part 2. Larry Elder and Roger Hedgecock. And Larry, let me start with you on this. The Democrats are filibustering the sex trafficking bill in the Senate, and Mitch McConnell, sticking to his guns, will not bring up the nomination or the vote on the Attorney General nominee Loretta Lynch until that other bill is taken care of. So today, Dick Durbin goes to the floor of the Senate and says that the Republicans are putting Loretta Lynch in the back of the bus. Disgusting or what?
Well, the old race card, that's just Democratic play 101. When all else fails, try to malign the other side as racist, sexist, or homophobic. The fact of the matter is, Loretta Lynch is caught in the crosshairs of election year politics, the negative poll numbers as far as Republicans are concerned about Eric Holder, and a bunch of other people that have their own agendas. And unfortunately, she got held back. I'm one of those who believes that elections matter, and that unless your person is a horse thief, you ought to confirm him or her to whatever position there is. And you don't like the president, defeat him in an election.
Roger, I'm not surprised that Durbin has said this, though.
No, I'm not surprised either. It is, as Larry points out, out of the playbook. It's the old cliche of racism. They ought to turn it on themselves. Have they looked in a mirror? Loretta Lynch was nominated when? Back when the Democrats controlled the Senate. Did Harry Reid ever bring up Loretta Lynch for confirmation? Absolutely not. Why not? Because he was keeping her in the back of the bus? Let's turn this around.
All right, now I got another kind of race story here. In an interview given with a Chicago TV station, the mother-in-law of, and this is a story that's in the New York Daily News, and they refer back to a Chicago TV interview aired during Obama's campaign, and is going to be out. This quote is in a book that's due out next month. Marion Robinson, the mother-in-law of Barack Obama, the mother of Michelle Obama, said that she was very concerned that Michelle was going to marry a biracial man, someone with a white mother and a black father. But she said, quote, "That didn't concern me as much as had he been completely white," end quote, and then she laughed. Larry?
Well, what it says, Steve, is that interracial marriage is, in my opinion, the #1 way of determining whether or not a society has assimilated and accepted other people. Back in 1958, only 4% of Americans believed in black-white marriages. That number now is 87%. You can't get much higher. But there is some hostility, some pushback all across the country, including within the black community. And Obama was not white, he was biracial, but she also was concerned about that. Part of the reason, however, in her defense is she was concerned about the reaction of other people, not her own reaction. But the bottom line is interracial marriage is going on right now in the country. It's a boom right now. 15% of all new marriages are interracial. In California, it's almost 25%. Racism is not a major problem in America anymore, and her attitude shows that. She got over it. She embraced her son-in-law, who subsequently became president of the United States, you know.
And Roger, if Barbara Bush had said similar things about Jeb Bush, what do you think would happen? And his marrying, I believe, a Hispanic woman. What do you think would happen?
Well, he married a Mexican woman, and I think if that had happened, there would have been all hell to pay in the national press because it was racism. This is very simple, Steve. We all know that only whites can be racist. So if there's other kinds of statements made, they're clearly not racism. It's just concern and so forth. If it had been a white mother-in-law, of course, that would have been a whole different picture.
Right. All right, 20 seconds each. Roger, Donald Trump, Exploratory Committee. I mean, I just can't believe he's serious.
Foolishness. He's been doing this a little ploy since 1996. Every time there's a presidential race, he gets a little publicity by coming out again a couple of days from now when he realizes he has to do a financial disclosure to have an exploratory committee. He will step back like he's done all the rest of the time.
Roger, Steve,
Larry.
RuPaul, not Rand Paul. RuPaul will be president before Donald Trump is.
All right, gentlemen, Good to talk to both of you as always. Larry Elder and Roger Hedgecock will speak to you both soon. That is the end of the Malzberg panel, ladies and gentlemen, but not by far is it the end of the Malzberg show or even this hour of it, because up next it's Give Me Five. You're not going to want to miss it right here on Newsmax Television. Do not touch that dial.